Now, what if I told you that our pets, our furry friends, are the biggest problem that we are going to face in an SHT event? And that is a problem that not a lot of prepared people have thought of a good answer for. These animals that we love and cherish are going to be really hard to take care of when we're having a hard enough time taking care of ourselves. That loving bark, or in this one's case, the whining, when we come home from a long day of work, well, unfortunately, those behaviors could be something that will give our positions away to people who want what we have. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I have prepared to take care of these two mongrels right here in a SHT event. Go ahead, Jojo, go. We're going to talk about the good things, we're going to talk about the bad things, and we're going to talk about the actual harsh reality of having pets in an SHTF event. My name's Will, and to me, preparedness isn't only about surviving the end of the world, it's about who we are and what we're made of. I prepare to live, and I live to prepare. I am a prepared citizen. Do you really have to be doing that on camera? I mean, you're going to be a movie star after this. Now, I want to start off with the good things of having a pet in an SHTF event. And this is one of them right here. This is Josie, and she's just sitting here letting me pat her, and she is enjoying this. She has no idea that she's being filmed. She has no idea that she's being viewed by tens of thousands of people, hopefully. This right here for me, it's a huge morale boost. When I'm feeling down or I'm having a bad day or I'm upset, this dog doesn't care about that. All it wants to do is show me that she loves me. And I can't think of any better way of getting out of a bad headspace than taking a look at one of these monkeys right here and giving them a big hug. Dogs are also great because they can be used as an early warning system, especially if you have one of these dogs with the big long noses. They can smell things a lot sooner than we can smell things. And if we pay attention to our dog's behavior, they might give us a little bit of an early warning that something is coming. Now, old Josie here, she wouldn't hurt a fly. She's not going to bite anybody. She's so docile and so gentle. But her bark, well, that's a different story. She has a very aggressive sounding bark. And all I have to do is say a couple words and I can pretty much get her to bark. Hello? Who's here? Who's here, Jojo? Is somebody here? Who's here? Who's here? All right, that's enough. That's enough. Easy. Dogs work great as an early warning alarm system. In fact, there are some statistics out there that show that neighborhoods who have a lot of dogs have much lower crime rate, and areas where people are out walking their dogs or moving their dogs around, they also have a lower crime rate. It's almost as if criminals don't want to get bit by dogs. Now, my bulldog, on the other hand, she doesn't really listen. In fact, I'm taunting her over here with a piece of grass. This is Ruby. Turn around, Ruby. Go ahead, have a sit down. Say hi to the world. Hello, world. Now, this dog right here, she's not going to bite you either, but she is menacing. And when she gets on a barking tirade and does that little bulldog jump barking, yeah, she can be quite intimidating. Now let's talk about some of the pieces of gear that I have to make sure that these dogs are safe. And what you're seeing right here is a vest that I put on the little bulldog here. And this vest is actually so-called stab-proof. It has a grab handle so I can pick her up easily, throw her in a truck, or if I have to sling her over my back, I can do that. Now this vest you're seeing right here is for the larger dog. And this also has some stab resistance, but it has a much better harnessing system where if I had to, I could actually hang her off of my chest. And inside here, there are some pockets where I can actually put some ballistic resistant plates. Leashes and collars are a really good idea to have for your dogs, especially to get them to be used to having a leash or a collar around their neck. But harnesses are the way to go, especially when you have small dogs that are heavy. It's really super easy to scoop them up and pick them up. A good, robust, strong leash is most important. Those little retractable leashes, they don't cut the mustard, they don't do the job, and they're not strong enough. Now this leash right here, this is all pot warp, the stuff that they use for lobster traps. And I've actually braided this end and put a very robust bronze clip on the end that I can clip to Josie's harness, or if I had to her electric collar right here. Now, if you take a look here, I've also put some knots in this rope. And the reason that I've done that is because if this is hooked to her and she runs and she takes off, it's going to stop in my hand and give me a chance to stop her. We have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, that dogs are going to get scared when their routines start breaking. The more that we panic, the more they panic. So we need to have a good, strong leash. The other type of leash I have here is the same kind of pot warp, but it's actually a floating line. That doesn't matter. Josie, heel. Jojo, heel. Now this leash, all I have to do is just simply loop it around her neck like this. Now I have a good kind of, not a choke leash, but a good cinch leash around her neck. And that's how she actually learned how to be on a leash, because I could give her commands and controls very easily. Now we got to talk about some of the bad things. And right now it's this dog and her drool. It is all over my pants. Dogs require a ton of maintenance in the best of conditions. They need annual vet appointments. They need to get their rabies shots. They need to make sure they're having heartworm, because we're trying to keep these little buggers alive as long as possible. To get back to one of our good points, the barking thing. Well, that goes against all of the noise disciplines that we're going to try and be implementing in an active situation. Now, if it's like one of those zombie apocalypse movies, or one of those movies where the monsters can hear everything you do, yeah, these things are not going to be good for us. It's going to sound like a harsh term, but dogs are going to be a huge burden on us when it comes to food and water. Now, as far as the water thing goes, I mean, these dogs can literally drink almost all types of water. Their immune systems are so much more advanced than ours are. And that comes from those ancestral hunting behaviors that all of these dogs had before we domesticated them. Dogs' bodies have evolved to tolerate those certain kinds of bacteria and parasites found in river and stream water that would put us down for a week. Now let's talk about food. My dogs eat roughly 2 cups of food per day, and they only eat in the evenings. And that's mostly because of the hunting dog, because we don't want our hunting dogs to eat early in the day, then go out hunting. They can get that stomach flip thing. So I need to have on hand approximately 30 pounds of dog food for both dogs. And the problem is that each one of those dogs eats different food. Long-term survival with dog means that we need to come up with other options for food for our dogs to eat. Now, I'm not a veterinarian, and I'm not giving you any type of advice whatsoever on what you should be feeding your dogs. I'm just telling you what my dogs eat. My dogs love to snack, and they love people food, and we feed them pretty much everything that we eat. So my dogs are eating filet mignon, barbecue chicken, tuna fish, salmon, whatever we have, they have. Which gives our dogs a little bit better so-called stomachs, because they're used to eating cooked people food. Now, that's not to say that the dogs can't eat uncooked food. When Josie was younger and I used to take her out hunting more, we would shoot a pheasant, and my wife does not like to eat pheasant because she's always spitting the pellets out and it grosses her out. But I would take that pheasant breast, cut it in half, I would cook one half for myself, and then Josie would get the raw half deboned in her food dish. I pulled up this note that I left on my phone about other raw meats that are generally safe for dogs: beef, chicken, turkey, pork, fish, lamb, and eggs. I have to say it again, these are not recommendations. This is just what I do. Just make sure if you're gonna give your dogs raw food, you gotta take the bones out. The bones will kill them. Another thing that we could keep stocked up is some canned dog food. My dogs have never eaten canned food because, well, if you have a bulldog, you know the stink that comes out of their bums, and I do not want that canned dog food stink coming up in me in my chair. Beans and lentils are another good thing that these dogs can eat in moderation. And dogs can really thrive on a good mixture of meat, vegetables, and rice. That'll keep them going for quite a long time. What are some of the things that you're trying to prep for with your dogs? Let me know down below in the comments. Medical issues are another thing that we're gonna have to start thinking about with our dogs, and thankfully both of our dogs are quite healthy. But like I said before, we're taking our dogs to the vet. They're getting their shots, their rabies shots, their Lyme shots, all of these things. So that kind of scares me if they couldn't get those anymore. I mean, I'd just break my heart if something like that happened to them. Wounds, infections, all of this stuff. Thankfully, we can clean a dog's wounds with most of the supplies that we have for ourselves. My dog first aid kit is literally just an extension of what I have for humans. The only difference being is that I actually have a legitimate dog wound staple gun. Training your dogs for when they may be injured is something that I've given an awful lot of thought about, because if this dog right here, if Josie were injured, if she were hurt, picking her up and carrying her like she farted. Picking her up and carrying her like this for great distances is going to be a super pain in the neck. My arms are going to get so fatigued so fast, and I'm probably not going to be able to carry her very far. That's why I've trained Josie to do something that not a lot of other dogs do, and I'm going to show you right now. Here we go. Jojo, piggyback. I have actually trained Josie to get on my back. so that I can get her here, I can hold her hands free, I can actually sit up, I can stand up, and I can move around with her without getting super fatigued. Now, if she's unconscious, this probably isn't gonna work, and I would just throw her over my shoulder anyway. But this keeps her safe. She enjoys doing this. We walk around the house all the time like this. So just make sure you're training your dogs so that they're not afraid if you pick them up weird or, you know, throw them on your back or something like that. Make sure it's a natural, fun thing for them to do. Josie, off. Off. She hasn't quite worked out the dismount yet. Bugging out versus bugging in, which is better for our pets? Well, bugging in is far better for us, and therefore it's going to be much better for our pets. Now this little munchkin right here, well, she's fast as fuck. And we actually even call her the fur missile because, believe it or not, I hope you're seeing the B-roll here, she will actually run alongside the big dog for quite a good distance. But here's the thing, she can't handle the heat. Her fur is black, and just with the sun coming out right now, her fur is getting so hot. Now, if I have to bug out, I know that I can carry a 40 or 50 pound pack about 10 miles before I really have to stop and take a good long breather. Ruby over here is not going to be able to make that 10-mile walk in the same fashion that I can. And most likely, Josie's not going to be able to either without taking a small break. The other thing would be transportation. If we have a vehicle or something like that, yep, we can throw our dogs in there and be on our merry way. But if we don't, if all we're stuck with is a four-wheeler, how are we going to get these dogs to stay on those vehicles while we're zipping through the forest? So part of your bug out plan, if you have pets, would be to include how you're going to get those pets from point A to point B safely so that they don't give away your position and they don't slow you down. Another thing would be hygiene. Dogs need baths from time to time, otherwise they get really crusty and they can get sick. But the most important thing would be cutting your dog's nails. Whether we're bugged in or bugged out, we have to keep our dog's nails trimmed. That way they're not having any extra discomfort, because our dogs are creatures of habit. They know when we come home, they know when it's time for supper, and when the shit hits the fan, we are literally going to be breaking every single one of their normal routines. Dogs, to me, are an awful lot like children. They require a whole heck of a lot of our time. They're distracted easily. They can be a nuisance, whether you want to hear it or not. And in a shit hit the fan scenario, they are going to be somewhat of a burden on all of us trying to stay alive. You really need to start making a list of preps that you have to have for your dogs. Put them all in a big bin and write dogs. The bottom line is, if you don't prepare for your pets as well as you're doing for yourself and your loved ones, your pets aren't going to make it. If there are any veterinarians watching this, please, down in the comments, give us some more tips and information from your professional perspective on how we should be thinking about maintaining our animal health through a situation. Remember, folks, the best time to prepare was yesterday. The second best time is today. I'm Will. I'm the Prepared Citizen. I got nothing else for you. All right, I got one more thing for you. You know, in a lot of my videos, I talk about spending time with your friends, spending time with your family, make the time, whatever. Do the same thing for your pets. Those animals show us undying affection, and most of us don't even deserve the affection that they give us. So repay that to them. Take them for a walk. Give them some treats. Give them a little extra food. Pat them. Let them know how much you love them, because, like I said, they're not going to be here as long as we think they are.